As I begin this channeled message for you today, the rain is coming down a little harder than it was a moment ago. This is a very cleansing time for you, and your spirit guides brought me to you today to give you a little insight of why this connection is not serving you anymore. Loving you is like a battle, and we both end up in scars. It could all be so simple, but you'd rather make it hard. I don't know if that is you saying that to them, or if that is them saying that to you. But regardless, this connection is not in alignment. Obviously, there's a lack of reciprocity. There's a lack of alignment. That's what it comes down to. You have to understand that you are so divinely protected that things like this, relationships like this, cannot keep up. They can't keep up with your frequency. This is divine intervention. Because if this relationship continues on, chaos, even more heartache, pain, suffering. And we don't need that. We don't need you operating in that frequency. You've worked way too hard to settle for that frequency. It's just not in alignment. You're vibrating higher, and there's nothing you can do about it. There's nothing you can do to intervene, I should say. You can always do something about it. You can always pray for someone. You can always speak things into existence, and I do recommend that. You can always lead with love and lead with forgiveness and empathy and understanding, but you cannot force someone to operate at a higher frequency. And I feel like you have tried with this person. So I got the message to share this message today. And I sat down and I was like, I'm not going to use any cards today. I am just going to speak what I know. And really, I made this reading today to help a fellow friend of mine, to just pour into them and give them some love and reassurance and clarity surrounding their connection. And lo and behold, one of my best friends texts me, separate from this friend, and they send me tarot cards that fell out of the deck as they were asking a question on a tumultuous connection that they're involved in. And I said, oh my gosh, they're the cards. I said I wasn't going to use any, but insane. The cards were the Three of Swords, the Queen of Wands in reverse, the High Priestess in reverse. There's one more I'm missing, the Knight of Cups. This connection is pulling you out of your true north. True north is who you are meant to be in this life, the things that you set out to accomplish. The true north is following in pursuit of your life purpose. And this connection does the opposite of that. This connection makes you question your intuition. It makes you frazzled. It takes you out of your grounded state. It makes you self-conscious. And you feel powerless. You don't feel like you're yourself. The person that you have worked so hard to become, you look in the mirror after having one conversation with this person and you don't even know who you are. They have you second guessing yourself, questioning your intuition. Really, your confidence is not as high as it was before going into a room with this person or sharing a conversation with this person. Maybe it wasn't always like that, but right now it is. And that's the most important thing. You are not the Queen of Wands in reverse. You are so confident. You are so brave and strong. You possess resilience and integrity. And you are not the High Priestess in reverse. You are very insightful. You are very spiritually grounded and psychically tuned in. When anyone makes you feel like you are not your true self, that is a strong indication that you need to call your energy back and zoom out a little bit. Things aren't always what they seem. I'm being guided to say that because the people that you have in your life, they all have potential to grow and to be something and to change and to evolve. So I don't ever think that anyone is a lost cause. I'm a very empathetic, optimistic person. But you may struggle with that. You may struggle with releasing and letting go of the things that this person has inflicted, or people. For some of you, it's groups of people, but maybe you have a difficult time holding on to what has happened because it has been very soul crushing, damaging. This person has either caused damage to you and your heart or your things. Yeah, this rain is washing away that sorrow. Allow that to happen today. Allow yourself to make peace with this connection, especially after this reading, after this channeled message. I just heard someone scream, "Stop." I think that is spirit trying to stop you in your tracks. You don't need to do anything else here. You have done everything you could do. This person has taken more from you than they have given, and that should be a very clear sign to stop. Stop engaging, stop forcing, stop trying to mend something that needs to be broken. You need to break away from this connection. You need to walk in a new direction because, look, they either walk alongside of you or they get left. Now, I also want to reemphasize people can change, people can grow, but sometimes you have to be the person to humble them. Sometimes you have to be that person to walk away, because if you're right there with them, how can reflection happen? How can they truly see what you tried to show them? Yeah, it's a little impossible. So when you call your energy back, sever the tie, walk on your path, hold space for them, of course, you may notice a difference in them. Sometimes people can't grow when you are right beside them. And that's a very harsh reality of the 3D world we live in. But I want you to know that you have nothing to stress out about. In this lifetime, you are so destined for a soul community, soul family that sees you, hears you, supports you, cheers you on, roots for you. Because that's who you are. You're the Queen of Wands. You're the High Priestess. You're the Knight of Cups. You like to view life from a whimsical, spiritual, passionate energy. This person doesn't bring out that in you, and that is how you know that it is time to make peace with this ending. I feel you. I know it's There's just no coincidence I'm channeling this message in the rain. The frog spirit animal is coming through, and the rain energy, it's all tied together. Frogs do symbolize a clearing of energy, a cleansing. For some of you, you need to also know that the water has come through today to water your intentions. When it rains, I think a lot of people get melancholy or trapped in this place of sadness. And when I see the rain, I'm like, thank you, Mother Earth, for replenishing us. And now I go as far as to say, thank you for watering the intentions that we've set. So I choose to look at it through that lens, and I hope that you can do that today as well. My heart is with you. My heart is so present with you in this energy. I know that you're grieving. I know it's a lot, but you have to know that what is truly meant for you will always be, and it's never going to have to be something that's forced or convinced. In my last relationship, 2020, I was full on making PowerPoint presentations to get this person, a Virgo sun, to understand where I was coming from. And I did that for several topics. Did I convince them after the PowerPoint? Maybe a little bit. But I know what truly convinces people is life and conversations with others. Divine intervention is on your side. Don't think that just because you don't receive or get justice, that the universe isn't going to get justice for you. Because if you're walking in your true north and your life purpose along with spirit, you have nothing to fear. You have nothing to overthink. Trust and believe that everything is happening as it should, and the people who have done you wrong will receive theirs in the end. That's just energy. That is just energy, how it works. What you put out, you receive back. So keep that in mind. Maybe that can also give you a little peace today. But yeah, I'm sending you a virtual hug. Thanks for tuning in today. Please like, comment, and subscribe to exchange the energy and to be a part of the community. I'm glad to have you here and glad to see you back if you're returning. Hope you have a good day or night whenever you're watching, and I'll see you again soon.